Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Grayson the Dean 221 Nichols, and we're back with the next episode of High Stakes Poker. And I just finished the new episode about 10 minutes ago. This week's hand was a no-brainer. I'm really excited to talk about this with you guys, and I'm actually kind of curious what you all think because, to be honest, I watched the hand 3 times already, and I'm not entirely sure what was going on in Bryn's head. But this is a really cool hand. You get to see two of the best players in the world go head to head with tons of money behind them. So I'm just going to jump right into the hand, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments, if you think Bryn was betting for value or if he was bluffing. But let's jump into the hand, and you guys can be the judge. So, little background. The game is 400, 800. We have Tom Dwan, Sean Perry, baseball player Mike Schwimmer, JRB, and Bryn Kenny playing right now. Jean Robert has a straddle to 1600, and it looks like Bryn has re-straddled to 3200 in this hand. And then Tom goes ahead and raises on the button with 10-8 offsuit to 9000. So JRB calls from the straddle, and Bryn calls from the re-straddle. The flop comes 10 high. So Bryn and Tom both hit top pair. JRB backdoor flush draw, right? JRB checks, and Bryn goes ahead and fires out 20,000 into Dwan in this spot. Kind of interesting. A lot of people tend to lean towards checking and calling with top pair, but Bryn fires right out with top pair, backdoor flush draw. And Tom goes ahead and calls. JRB folds, and the turn brings a king of diamonds for the diamond redraw. And now the pot's about 70,000, and Bryn bets 23, so about a third of the pot. This could look like an inviting bet, kind of like he wants the action. When I saw this live, live about an hour ago, I was thinking to myself, like, it looks like Bryn is almost betting small here to set up the opportunity to make a big bluff on the river and make him fold better kickers with the 10. Maybe if he even had something like, I guess Tom could perhaps have a hand like Jacks, but I don't think he's ever going to try to get him off that. It would probably be more aimed at better kickers with the 10. But it felt like he was going to fire the river right afterward. And sure enough, the river makes the 7 of diamonds, and Bryn bets 54K. So this is where I'm super confused. And as you see, Tom ends up calling, and they end up chopping the pot, right? But this is where I'm confused. Like, was Bryn betting for value, or was he betting as a bluff, right? Well, if he's betting as a bluff, let's take a look at this, right? If he's betting as a bluff, he is trying to make a hand better than his fold. So what hands are better than his here? Well, when the river's a 7, even a hand like Jack 10 or Queen 10 now is chopping with him, right? Because they both have 10s and 7s with the king kicker. So he's not really accomplishing much of a bluff by, raising those hands. However, maybe he makes them fold. Unlikely, but maybe, right? Maybe that's why he'd go for a big bluff here. Ace 10 probably also is going to call in this spot. So it's not clear what Bryn is really making him fold here. There is a chance that, with the dynamic between the two of them, they both know they're so aggressive that maybe Bryn was going for really thin value here, hoping that Dwan put him on things like 8-6, 8-9, Jack 9, just pure straight draws that missed, essentially, right? And that could make sense, and if that is what he was doing, and this is just a really thin value bet, it's incredible. And it kind of makes sense when you look back on it, right? Because again, this is clearly not a bluff, right? Like, there are no better hands than Bryn's that Bryn is going to expect Tom to fold, right? Like, he's not going to fold jacks. If he somehow floated the flop with king, queen suited, it's not going to fold a king here, right? So there's just not a lot in general he's going to make him fold, right? So it's funny that on first glance, I was like, oh, Bryn's bluffing here. And everyone at the table, for the most part, seemed to think that Bryn was bluffing, the announcers included. And when you go back and think about it, and after Bryn saying that it was like a value bet, I was like, wow, was that really a value bet? And we go back and look at it, maybe it was. Maybe it was. Like, this is the level that Bryn Endure are playing at. And it's really cool to sit back and just to watch and appreciate how good these guys are. So, really cool hand. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys think that he was betting for value or as a bluff, I'm leaning slightly towards that it was a value bet. But you never know. Sometimes people change their story once the hand gets flipped over. Either way, pretty awesome to watch two of the best in the world battle it out. You guys, let me know in the comments what you think if Bryn was betting for value or as a bluff. Look forward to hearing what you all think. Definitely check out last week's episode on the Elite Rounders YouTube channel. I'll be doing another episode again every week as usual. Look forward to hearing what you guys say. Can't wait to watch next episode with two of the best players in the world battling it out. Should be fun to see what they come up with. All right, everyone, good luck on the felt this week, and I'll see you guys next week.